The future is not real. The future you're dreading does not exist except in your mind. So nothing's going to get you, nothing's out to get you. The sky is not going to fall on your head. You can relax now. Hi, I'm Chloe and I make videos on spirituality, manifestation, and everything my intuition tells me. So today's subject is about the illusions and projections we make about what's going to come to us and what our lives are going to look like. The other day I realized in a very profound way that the future never comes. What I mean is I was worrying sometimes about specific topics, and I realized that they never come true. I'm always fine. And that's how I understood that the future I'm imagining in my mind is just an illusion, and therefore it does not exist outside of me. It's not real. It's only me who expects something. And I've also realized in a positive manner that when I expect positive things, they do appear. The thing is with the law of expectation is sometimes we do have a bit of ego that gets in the way. What I mean is we kind of don't like to be told otherwise. We don't like to be shown we were wrong. So, for example, if you are worried about a topic and if the universe, life is showing you something else, is showing you, no, it's okay, you can relax, you're taken care of, we don't accept it. We don't accept it because we don't like to be shown that we were wrong. We don't like to change our minds. Sometimes, it can be very hard to change our minds on certain topics if we are very identified or attached to them. But the thing is, when you start to call in more success and more abundance, more love, you have to accept that you will live some ego death. You will be shown how you are attached to a story, to an identity, to something that is not serving your highest good. And that can hurt sometimes because you're like, oh, but I've lived my whole life like this. I've lived my whole life just thinking this way. And now you're telling me I was wrong and I was not obligated to do that? Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And it's about accepting that we are allowed to be something else, to dream about something else, to believe something else. We are allowed to change our minds. We are allowed to be shown that we were wrong. And it's not hurting our value. It doesn't mean we are stupid or bad. It's just meaning a very neutral use of the ego. The ego likes to get attached to things, but it's in theory, it's just to protect us. It's just to protect us. But in reality, when we allow our mind to open, we get shown the truth, which is we are taken care of, which is we can trust the universe, which is we can have full faith in God. That is what we get shown. But there is sometimes, again, this part of our mind that says, no, I'm attached to this belief that something's going to fall on my head and I've got to prepare, I've got to watch out, I've got to anticipate, I've got to work, I've got to take the place of God, actually. And also there is maybe this victim mentality of, oh, bad things always happen to me, poor me. But this is not the person, like this is not the whole self of the person saying that. It's just ego. It's just ego, because sometimes the ego gets what it needs by being a victim, by victimizing itself. And as I said, the ego as a role, it serves us to keep us safe and maybe also make us feel stable in some sense. So it needs validation that it is right. And even if it's I'm right that everything bad happens to me, it's okay for the ego. The ego doesn't really care if it serves the higher part of ourselves. It just wants to be right, because if it isn't right, if it got something wrong, it means instability. It means danger for the whole system. But we are more than our ego. We are all of it. We are our mind, we are our ego, we are also our higher self that is still connected to source. So we have to learn to make a great relationship between these two, because our because our higher self knows we can change our minds, knows we are safe. It knows that it's alright to be wrong, to get something wrong. It's alright if it means living more freely and living more aligned. We can change our minds any time, and as much as we want, as much as we need. Sometimes I hear this kind of pattern happening to people, is that they get into something, they get into plans, they get into, I don't know, even a school or even a job, and they change their minds inside of them, their heart. They realize it's not for them, but they don't say it out loud. They think they are stuck. They think they're stuck because they made one choice, and they think their whole life is over, and that their whole life has just been ruined by some decision. But you are allowed to change your mind. But it all comes back to the ego, accepting to let your ego die a little bit. You have to endure the little pain, and because outside of that is freedom. When you accept to change your mind at any time, when you accept to get shown wrong, either by other people or by the universe, it just flows, because you are having good intentions. You are showing discernment and good intentions. You are showing that you are flexible, and the universe likes it. The universe wants you to be more flexible. Today I am drinking chrysanthemum flowers. It's a very soft and sweet infusion. So when you understand that the role of the ego is to try to find out the patterns that show stability, that means, oh, this is working, this is not working. When you accept to break that, to not adhere to that, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You open yourself up to act in a different manner, For example, when I started posting videos on YouTube, I didn't get many views at all, like one or two. But part of me could have said, oh, you're not getting any views, that's not working, just forget about it, just don't do it. But part of me, my higher self, knew the people, the viewers that need to hear what you're saying, they will come to you. Just keep talking, keep making videos. They will hear, they will meet you, you will meet each other. And that's the part where you have to keep showing up. You have to keep showing up to what your heart desires, without listening to the ego that just wants to protect you and keep you away from the unknown, away from novelty, and also away from your potential success. Because if I didn't post videos at all, I would never ever even have the chance to be successful, and it's only because I put my ego on the side and I said, all right, I'm going to post videos and I'm going to get no views at the beginning. It's normal. And it's of course, I have this feeling where I know I want to share. I know why I'm doing this. It's to share. And because I want the people that need to hear the message that is coming through me to hear it. I want to help people. And I want to help us, like you and me, to be more aligned with our souls. And I know that through this process of making videos, I am doing just that. And by being very transparent about what's happening in my spiritual and my journey overall. And I know that's how I can make people accept their own authenticity, So yeah, like what I was saying, I said to myself, of course I'm not going to get views at first, but even if it's like it's not that it hurts, but it's like, well, I'm doing this work, I'm putting out work and I'm not getting results, and it can be, frustrating. But when you start to see that it starts to grow, and you start to see you get more views, more comments, and this is just an example, I'm using this example of YouTube videos, but it means something for every type of situation. It can mean something for a business, it can mean something for even a relationship, or how your daily life is going. So when you go out there, in a sense, when you go out there, out at first, nobody knows about you. Nobody knows you're here. You've not been here for a long while. So it's normal that you're not getting results, but you don't listen to the ego in this part, because the ego will try to make you give up. And that's why most people don't do anything. They don't follow their dreams, because once they start, they try once, then their ego says, "Oh, this is not working. I'm not getting the results I want. So up, I'm just forget about it. Just don't do it. It's not working." How many people I've met that they told me what their dreams were, and they told me, "Oh, I've given up." These people were not over 27, at least not over 30. And I'm like, how can you give up on your dreams? You're so young. You have so much time, and they've already given up. They've tried once and they thought, no, I'm not doing it. But it's because they listen to the ego. So today, try to see where your ego is trying to keep you down, and how you're trying to project an image into the future that you imagine yourself is going to happen, either good or bad, and realize that it is not real. It is a projection of your ego, so that it can calculate, so to speak, what course to take. It projects possibilities, and it chooses one. It's like, oh, this is going to happen, oh, then I'm going to do this. But you have to realize that this is not real. This is just a projection. You cannot base your life on the projection of something that is only inside your mind, because miracles happen every day, and I'm sure you know this. Even if you don't think it applies to your life, it does apply to everyone. So let the universe work. Let yourself be in the now. Let yourself only see now, and only prepare for the now. And when I say this, I don't mean like don't have any discipline. Just like don't you can still continue to brush your teeth, because tomorrow you're going to need to have clean teeth, But I think you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So so yeah, and it's the same for the past. It's the same for the past. The past is not real, and it's even worse with the past, because some events happened in the material world, but there is your perception. There is your perception you had once it happened, with the emotions you had, with how you felt, how much energy you had, what were your beliefs at the time. And then when you try to go back to an event, or to a relationship, or how you felt, you are projecting something onto something that is already a projection. So you cannot live in either of those spaces. You have to understand that only now is real. And when you understand that only now is real, you get all the power as a creator, because you understand that the only thing that matters is how you feel now. Once you try it out, because once you try, you will get proof that this is the way. As the Mandalorian would say, this is the way. Because when you start to focus on how you feel, each moment to each moment to each moment to each moment to each moment, you start to realize that, first of all, the future that you dreaded never comes, it never arrives, and then it's just something you keep trying to, it's like this, like the future is here and you're here, and just like this, you never get to that future that you dread. However, when you start to, and even in the positive, you don't get to this exact thing, But when you start to focus on how you feel and you focus on feeling good, you realize that you attract only good in your life. You attract, of course, there are still big contrasts. I'm not saying that negativity doesn't exist, quite the opposite. The world is a balance of the yin yang, you know. So of course the others, the other aspects of life, the shadow aspect is still here. I'm not saying you are going to bypass anything, but your life is going to be experienced in such a different way. And you know, this is also the same thing with people having bad intentions, in the sense that they don't like to be optimistic. They are very attached to being pessimistic, and when something bad happens, they don't want to be they don't want to be shown hello they don't want to be shown that it's not that bad, or they just want to complain, because they think that the universal life is out to get them. They think that, you see how I'm talking about good things happening to you, and the cat's coming. Oh. So you have to accept to be shown wrong. If it's for your own good, accept that you were wrong. Accept that maybe you didn't have the right perception of life. That maybe you are allowed to change your mind about anything. And don't worry about the future, because the future will never come. Only the present. And when you focus on feeling good on the present, you make the present good. And you live here now. And you are allowed to let go of these beliefs. You are allowed to let go of keeping the same things you've done all your life. You are allowed to change. I'm sure the people who need to hear this will understand what I'm saying. This cat wants to be famous. His name is Kuro-san. So yeah, accept that you are wrong for your own good. Accept that you are fine, that you're safe, that you're taken care of, and try to live more in the present, because that's how you attract everything you desire, in the present. And I would even go as far as, once you get the things you want very specifically, once you get the relationship, once you get the money, once you get the success, once you get the car, the house, the travel, how are you going to enjoy them if you keep focusing on the future? Because what makes you think that your mind will stop acting as it does once you get it? The desires are infinite. They will always come. Once you reach your goal, you will have another goal. Once you get something, you will want something else. So you have to understand that this is the whole journey. The whole journey is trying to enjoy the journey. It's understanding it's not about the destination at all. It's about enjoying where you are now. Because then the future is never coming. It's never coming. It's always going to be now. So if you're stressed about something specific today, just release it. Allow yourself to understand it's now that you're safe. Because you think something dreadful is coming tomorrow, it means you're safe now. It's tomorrow anyways. You know what I mean? And of course you can prepare for things. I'm not saying just come in denial of everything. But if you don't know for sure something is coming, if you're just projecting, then just you're fine. You're just fine. and just, you know, exhale, let go, release. You are now in the present, and nothing can hurt you ever. Once you are in the present, you cannot have a problem once you are very present. So I hope you got something out of this video, and please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification to get the next messages that I will give. And check out the new meditation I recorded just here, or here, I don't know. The Wild Woman meditation. It's about connecting to our wild and instinctual, our intuition and our wisdom. Bye!